Hey guys, it's Rob, and of course this is RTM1, and this is Cyberverse Predaking. If you'll notice, he looks a good bit different than his Voyager version, almost like a different character, and I think that's a pretty neat thing, being that this, right next to the more expensive version, might be a little confusing some, so having him looking a little different is not exactly a bad thing. One thing I've noticed is his wings. If you'll notice, they're kind of feathered looking and a little mechanical looking, while the Voyager version has a more leathery skin type design and organic design to his wings, which is kind of neat that they made him this one a little bit different in that area. And just looking at him, he looks really like you just turned into a bird as opposed to a dragon if you looked at him like this. One thing I really like, the Voyager version has this big spiky crown, which is just really ornate, and he's got this cool mohawk, which I can't help but to think is great. Comes with a cool missile launcher. His tail, it's basically his tail in beast mode, and it makes into a missile launching rifle. I wish he had the sword of the Voyager version, but que sera, I guess. I do have the Voyager version. I just maybe will use him for another video review, maybe a little bit later. Though I'm pretty sure most people are reviewing the Voyager version versus the Cyberverse incarnation, so I think I'll focus on this just for the sake of variety of videos out there. He, as far as most commanders go, he's pretty well articulated, covering really all the bases and what you'd probably expect from a toy from his class. And if you'll notice here, those are his beast mode hind legs. Unlike a lot of people unfairly say about beast mode Transformers, they like to say they pretty much stand up to transform. And that's only true about half the time. I really don't know why that's it's kind of such an unfair generalization of beast mode Transformers. It's like, hey, they stand up. Well, if you turn into a monkey, how else would he's going to transform, But something like this, his legs actually kind of become his hind abdomen area, so to speak. And that's pretty darn neat. What I'm going to do is transform him for you guys here, and I'm going to just flip over to that because it's kind of boring about showing transform, not to mention the way I'm sitting. It just ain't going to work. So, one second. There you have it. He's in his beast mode. It's pretty simple transformation. See, here's the gun making his tail and hind legs, and of course his front legs make into his beast mode legs. I realize now I didn't have these shoulder pads properly folded out in robot mode. As you can see, they make sort of a pseudo extra dragon heads in this mode. Now, in either mode, you can fold them up like this, and I guess that's really intended for robot mode to make them more dramatic. And I keep forgetting to do it because I just like the way it looks like when they're folded down. But as you can see, the spikes are sort of shaped like dragon heads, so you could really put it in any way in either mode, and it would look appropriate, I'm sure. I just like them down like that, I guess, for the presentation of it, and it keeps the Predacon sigil facing the correct way, in my opinion. He's pretty fair dragon anyway. And like I said, I like that difference in the design as opposed to the Voyager version, just to keeping things fresh. Head does not want to. There we go. Sometimes you fold this back when you transform him into robot mode, and sometimes when you fold it back, you'll find you gotta kind of push a little bit to fit in that tab. He's got pretty good plastic tolerances. The gun, which fits in by means of a tab, fits in nice and securely, and if you'll notice, the handle helps provide a stable base for when he sits down. So if you're like me and you don't always dramatically pose them just right, and you got a leg hovering in the air, the gun actually helps stabilize the beast mode, which is pretty cool. And I'm not really an articulation buff, but you got a fair amount of articulation, or as much as you really expect from a small toy like this. Put in him his wings, his legs, even his back legs can move around just a bit. If his neck moved a little more, that would be pretty great. But, like I said, this is a commander toy, so he's about as articulated as one can expect. And it's a pretty nice looking figure to boot. I really like the orange and the black as well as the silver. And there you have it. There he's back in robot mode, and I posed the shoulder pads back out in the more spiky position, just to let you guys know how they look in that position. It's not really that much of a difference, so I guess it's really up to personal taste. One thing I really like about the Cyberverse version over the Voyager version is the wings are mounted more on his shoulders than in his midsection, so they kind of look a little bit more natural as opposed to the Voyager version, which they're about here and they come out. Like I said, I have the Voyager version, and if there's not too many videos on him floating around by the time I get around to making another one of these, I'll probably record one on him too, because I'm really fond of that toy. In fact, it's sitting on my desktop right now as like my current desk buddy. I'm pretty much enjoying Predaking in all of his incarnations right now, and I think I'm gonna get the Weaponizer too. I really like this figure. I don't see what's not to like about him, but I guess that's opinions, and everyone has one. If there's any negatives, and this is probably due more to the price point than anything, he could use just a little bit more paint, I think, because he's got some great detail in there, and it kind of gets lost a little in the dark colors. So I guess some of you hobbyists who really like to touch up your guys, you can go to town, because there's a lot of sculpted detail that could be brought out with a little paintbrush if you'd like. Me, I'm pretty happy with him. I like the orange against the black contrasting. It's a very kind of a violent color scheme, and I like that. And a character like him should be violent looking. Not to mention I'm a sucker for Halloween, so black and orange gets me every time. You know, his gun is your standard missile launcher gun. It turns into the tail, so it looks nice and, you know, vicious here in this mode, like a pirate cannon or something, which I dig. The missile's a missile. I mean, it kind of looks like it's firing on the tip. Sort of like a fireball, like a ball of fire coming out behind it. That's a pretty neat touch. And it uses the marble, you know, gravity or pressure, however you guys say it. I don't use all these terms like some of you guys do. Launching system. So basically, you drop it, and that's how it works. You push on the back here, and it presses out, and it'll go a few inches, or maybe a foot if you're lucky. And that's about a standard launching mechanism for a basic figure like this one is. And it works really good to me. I almost like these type of missiles better because I don't accidentally hit a trigger and spend 10 minutes trying to figure out where the missile went. And that's pretty cool. But overall, this is a nice start off to the Beast Hunters subline, especially the Cyberverse component, which some of you might have realized I really like Cyberverse stuff. So he makes a nice addition to my Legion and Commander collection, as well as a nice introduction into the whole Beast Hunter subline that everything's going to know. Subline is not the proper word. The Beast Hunter section of Prime that we're going into now. And I'm really looking forward to it. And that's about all I've got to say, because I'm brain farty today. I'm also kind of farty today. Luckily for you guys, it's not picking up on the camera. You guys are so lucky you have no clue. Well, this is Rob, and this has been our... Wow, my voice cracked. That is weird. It's cold. It's February, so, you know, the weather's kind of acting up. Well, guys, I'm going to cut out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully I have another one soon. I'm kind of think I'm going to swap from making RTM1 from just an opinion piece to a toy review / opinion piece, keeping it more concise and maybe a little more interesting for you guys to watch. So hopefully I'll have a new one of these out sooner. I know it feels like every episode I say hopefully I'm going to have a new one of these out sooner than later. But I think I'm going to try to put a little extra effort into it. Just maybe go without a little more sleep for you guys, because that's what I do for y'alls. Well, thanks for watching, and check out tfradio.net for shows and showtimes. Thanks.